skin. The skin is the largest organ in the human body, and comprises approximately 8% of total body mass. It is a versatile structure with a wide range of functions. The skin provides an essential barrier between the external environment and internal body contents. It protects against mechanical, chemical, thermal, UV damage and microbial invasion. Skin plays a vital role in the synthesis of vitamin D. It also regulates the body temperature. The skin is a major sensory organ for touch, temperature, pain, and other stimuli. Next is the gross structure of the skin. The composition of skin varies across the surface of the body. Skin can be thin, hairy, hirsute, or glabrous. Glabrous skin is the thick skin found over the palms, soles of the feet and flexor surfaces of the fingers that is free from hair. Throughout the body, skin is composed of 3 layers, the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. Now we move on to the ultrastructure of the skin. First layer of the skin is epidermis. The epidermis is the most superficial layer of the skin, and is largely formed by layers of keratinocytes. The epidermis also contains melanocytes responsible for melanin production and pigment formation. Individuals with darker skin have increased melanin production, not an increased number of melanocytes. A keratinocyte typically takes between 30 to 40 days to travel from the stratum basale to the stratum corneum. The epidermis can be divided into layers or strata of keratinocytes. These keratinocytes change their structure and properties as they migrate towards the surface. From deepest to most superficial, these layers are stratum basale. The stratum basale, also called basal layer or stratum germinativum, is the deepest layer of the 5 layers of the epidermis. Stratum spinaceum. The stratum spinaceum is a layer of the epidermis found between the stratum granulosum and stratum basale. The stratum spinaceum is partly responsible for the skin's strength and flexibility. Stratum granulosum. The stratum granulosum, or granular layer, is a thin layer of cells in the epidermis. Keratinocytes migrate from the underlying stratum spinaceum to become granular cells in this layer. Stratum lucidum is a thin, clear layer of dead skin cells in the epidermis and is named for its translucent appearance under a microscope. Stratum corneum. The stratum corneum is the outer layer of the skin. It serves as the primary barrier between the body and the environment. Next layer of the skin is dermis. The dermis is immediately deep to the epidermis, and the following cell types and structures can be found in the dermis. 1. Fibroblasts. These cells synthesize the extracellular matrix. 2. Mast cells, helps in immunity. 3. Blood vessels and cutaneous sensory nerves. 4. Skin appendages, for example, hair follicles, nails, sebaceous and sweat glands. Hair follicles and sebaceous glands. The hair follicles and sebaceous glands combine to form a pilosebaceous unit, which is only found on hirsute skin. The hair follicle itself is associated with an erector pili muscle, which contracts to cause the follicle to stand upright. Sweat glands. There are 2 main types of sweat glands. Eccrine glands. They are the major sweat glands of the human body. They release a clear, odorless substance, comprised mostly of sodium chloride and water, which is involved in thermoregulation. Next is the apocrine glands. They are larger sweat glands, located in the axillary and genital regions. These apocrine glandular products can be broken down by cutaneous microbes, producing body odor. The third layer of skin is hypodermis. The hypodermis, or subcutaneous tissue, is seen immediately deep to the dermis. It is a major body store of adipose tissue, and as such can vary in size between individuals depending on the amount of fatty tissue present. Applied anatomy. Number 1, alopecia. It is marked by autoimmune destruction of hair follicles, causing hair loss. Number 2, vitiligo. Like alopecia, vitiligo is an autoimmune disease, where melanocytes are targeted and destroyed. Number 3, psoriasis. In psoriasis, the mitosis of keratinocytes in the stratum basale is drastically increased, producing a thickened stratum spinaceum. This is clinically apparent as scaly skin, typically on the knees and elbows. The skin. The skin is the